What's up? It's your guy Sky, and so I want to make sure I get this one out as quick as possible because there's some pretty exciting stuff happening. That being uh, Jacksepticeye's comic has a confirmed release date. Now, just for the sake of recording, it is October 14th, just past midnight, and uh, I want to lay down my theories. Also, for the sake of recording, I would like to say that I did come up with these the day that the comic was announced to have a release date, which was 2 days ago on October 12th. I know I have no proof of that, but I did come up with these then and just didn't document it until now. Except for my notes that don't have a timestamp on them, so nothing much I can do about that. Alright, so we're gonna start with a line. Good enough. Good enough. Our beautiful, wonderful line. So, uh, I may or may not have the editing skills to show the comic book covers. If I do, you'll see them. If I don't, I will just link the articles they're shown in. Because they're pretty cool. I'm super excited for them. The articles about the comics haven't said much, but from what I've seen around Twitter, is that the comics are going to largely focus on Marvin and Jacobon Man, my personal favorite. And as soon as that was said, my mind started running. I mean, it's been running, especially since uh, the events of last year, the Iris Project. If I think that's what it's titled, the Iris Project. But that thing that Jack did, where uh, the stream was interactive and the chat had to put in commands to make things happen, that was super cool, super fun. So I've been kind of fussing around with some ideas since then, but now hearing what the comics are going to be, I think I've put it all together. Iris is a facility that works kind of similar to the SCP Foundation, keeping things that are not meant for the eye of the general public out of the eye of the general public. And the doctor character, who doesn't have a name but is played by Aaron Hansen, so I will henceforth be calling him Dr. Aaron, worked with Chase because Chase had recently had an encounter. And after being very vague and not answering any of Chase's questions, he finally revealed that, like, what they do to Chase. His main example being, like, a stone slab, I think it was, that was driving a town mad. Symptoms were noted as hallucinations, nosebleeds, and headaches to those who were exposed to the slab. And that sure does sound familiar. That sounds a lot like what Auntie was doing back in 2016. And that's where this all starts. I'm gonna put dates on the things that I know for certain, but Otherwise, it's pretty much just going to be a chronological order of events. Here, at the very beginning, this is where Auntie gets corrupted. And what I mean by that is a theory that I've been floating around for quite a while, that Auntie was once a normal guy, but one day he got too close to one of these artifacts. And somehow it didn't kill him, and he just kind of merged with it or absorbed it. Some form of like taking it in and bonding to it. Heck, maybe that thing was the knife. Who knows? Not only were there hallucinations and nosebleeds and headaches, but he was quite literally driven insane. And the reason that I think these artifacts have such power is because they are items from different universes. An item slipped through the fabric of space-time into the wrong universe. And because it's not meant to be there, then the universe, the timeline, starts really freaking out. And the funniest thing is it could be something as simple as a bag of potato chips. So that's how these artifacts come to be. And then Auntie got close to one and absorbed all the knowledge that came with it. That being the concept of the multiverse. But most importantly of all, that he isn't the original. And that sets him off. He gets really mad at that. He's been driven insane, and now he finds that his existence isn't even original. He's not unique. He's just a play on someone else. He hates that. So what does he do? Auntie attacks Jack. On Halloween of 2016. And he tries his best to take over. He gets farther than one might think, but when it comes to fighting the original timeline, the original universe, it's gonna take a lot fucking more than the power he has to make that happen if he really wants to try and do that. And, okay, this part I actually thought of just now. Who's to say that getting rid of the original wouldn't just get rid of all of them? It's a dangerous game to play. Anyway, so Auntie makes an attack on Jack and fails. He realizes that he's not strong enough yet. So what does he do instead? Now, if I remember correctly, and you can correct me in the comments if uh, I'm in the wrong order, but I do believe his next course of action was to attack Dr. Schneepelstein. I'm not typing that all out, so he just gets to be Schneep. Shout out to Henrik. Love that man. He was my favorite ego for a long time, actually, but then it got really attached to Jack the Boy Man. That's not how you spell attack. I'm sorry, I'm tired. He gets a bit closer there. Things get pretty bad. But again, he fails. Then he runs into this other guy. He finds this other universe. One that seems a bit far off from Jack himself. He's clearly a variant of the original, but a bit more than a stone's throw away from home. And that is our lovely boy JJ. In JJ's opening video, his introduction video, he didn't even get to like do much outside of uh be a puppet for Auntie. So that's Auntie's first win. He's finally getting somewhere. I would like to think that it's because the more disconnected a version of the original is, the weaker link they have, the easier they are to overcome. We move on to Chase. Chase, who's had a pretty shitty life. So I can't remember if the date it was posted is the canon date in the timeline. If it is, I'll edit. If it is or isn't, I might edit this later. But for the sake of getting this video done, I'm sorry if my dates are wrong. Chase happens. I still can't believe Chase is 4 years old now. 3 months after that, Iris grabs Chase, and the events of the Iris Project happen. And remember, Auntie has been sort of relentless with Chase ever since the Chase video. So I think Auntie kind of mellowed out over the years and learned to be more patient and play a longer game. And so that's why he sticks with Chase and keeps going after Chase. Because he needs more people under his power or to just take over their power or whatever. I haven't quite figured out the logistics yet, but whatever. Anyway, there is a really good chance that that Chase is just kind of fucked after the whole Iris thing. There's a very good chance that Chase is just screwed. He's dead. He might be gone. Unless he has, like, main character plot armor and we get to see him more later. We shall see. that brings us to the present day. The comics. We're getting somewhere, we're doing things. These comics have been described as fleshing out Jackboy Man and Marvin a bit more, giving them more background in their stories and all that. So, what I think is going to happen is that for a good while, the issues that come out will be alternating between Marvin and Jackboy Man, each sort of establishing their characters and universes. They're separate universes, mind you. So for a while, they're going to be two separate stories going on from like the same exact comic source. And so I think they're going to alternate between Jackboy Man, Marvin, Jackboy Man, Marvin for a while. And then their normal everyday lives, even though it is kind of already an adventure, get uprooted even more than they already were. Because there was a source describing that Marvin's story would be about how he's kind of in trouble with the magic government for going against their magic guidelines. And I haven't seen anything about Jackboy Mans yet, but I'm excited to. Which actually might imply that Marvin's issue is going to be first. So maybe I should reverse these colors. Yes, these colors are important. Like, I didn't just choose blue and orange randomly. If I was doing it just for the characters, I would have either grabbed from here, or I would have at least gone like red for Jackboy Man and this like darker blue for this indigo for Marvin, because that feels more like a Marvin color. But I did this blue and red for a very specific reason. Now we'll get to that. So Marvin and Jackboy are gonna live their lives, and then something stranger than normal is going to happen. There's gonna be something weird, something dangerous, something really bad. Could even be described as not of this world. And so, whether it be just an artifact to kick it off, or Auntie himself causing a ruckus, Auntie is going to start causing problems in both of their universes. And personally, I think Marvin is going to be the one to like dig into this more and be able to make more progress solo. So I also feel like Marvin's gonna be the one to reach out. It's going to be a bit weird and awkward at first, as expected, but once things are smoothed out and things are established, I think they are definitely going to team up against their common enemy, Jacksepticeye. Of course, he's probably just going to go by Anti for short, because going by the full Jacksepticeye would give too much away. I'm just going to add a little note here that one of Marvin's comics is going to tie back into, fuck, what was it called? One of Marvin's comics is going to tie back into that thing. I can't remember how to say it, but I know it's Latin for something. But anyway, one of Marvin's comics before he meets up with Jack Boyman is going to tie into that video. That's what I'm saying. Editing Sky here. I have more thoughts on this now that I'm editing, but I don't have a lot of room, so check the comment below. So they've teamed up and they've realized a few things. I want to say that they have a decent idea of who their enemy is, and they have a decent idea of what Iris is, or at least they will down the line. I'm gonna say it right off the bat, I don't trust Iris. I think they are one of those organizations that like works under the guise of doing good, but isn't actually doing good. I think they're gonna put together that Auntie is gaining more power, either in the sense that he's like literally taking the life force from other versions of Jack, or he's just amassing an army. One of the two. They need more help. So they go to find other versions of them, and it's kind of like, I can't remember what it's called, but you've got two sides trying to recruit the same people, and it's just a race to see who can recruit more. Anyway, that's where the portal comes in. So, as you may recall, Henrik's adventures with unknown things did not stop at that one attack from Auntie. There were clips of him doing science that seemed not like medical doctor things. I think that Dr. Schneep has been very busy during this time. I think that after things went down with Auntie, he was fascinated by whatever had happened to him. He didn't understand it fully, but he wanted to. So he dropped his career, dropped contact with everyone probably. Any normal passerby probably would have thought he was just insane. But he wasn't. This happened, and he's determined to get to the bottom of it. Of course, no one believes him, so he's doing all this research himself. For a few months. Until Iris picks him up. And Iris says, hey, you went through some strange shit, and we understand the feeling of no one else believing you. That sucks. But don't worry, we believe you. And in fact, we want to help you get to the bottom of this. And so they enlist Henrik. Henrik joins the Iris team. Or the Iris team of his universe, at least. One day, he's deep in his work, on the brink of a discovery, when this portal opens up. And as viewers remember, it's that blue and orange. That was the same as the portal scene in this video with Marvin. Schneep goes in, and now they have a new member. It doesn't happen right away, of course, because, like, even though Schneep is fascinated by all of this, he has this sort of loyalty because, well, they were the only ones who believed him. Iris couldn't possibly be bad. So Schneep comes through the portal, and being the scientific man he is astounded, astonished, amazed, anything you can think of. He is through the roof about it. This is amazing. This is great. And so he's all, this is great. We should report this to Iris. What a breakthrough. And then Marvin or Jackboy Man has to go, no, Iris is bad. Sorry, bud. And so that's going to take a little bit of time to smooth out. Schneep's going to be mad that they're trying to shame the, like, organization that took him in when no one else believed him. But they're probably going to have a chance to show Schneep that they're not as good as they say they are. As a bonus, I really, really hope that someone eventually says, if there's one thing you can count on being the same in every universe, it's Iris headquarters. I really want that line to happen. Please. Anyway, so Schneep will be their third member of the anti-anti club. That's what I'm calling it for now. Then after that, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I haven't thought further out than that. However, another thing that I do want to happen at the end during the big dramatic face-off, I really hope that Auntie says to one of them or all of them, or maybe just like to Jack himself, just says, "Don't you see? I'm you." And then shit happens. And conclusion and whatever. So this is the timeline as I see it right now, and my prediction for what'll happen with the comics. And again, the orange and blue are very specific because for the first issue of the comics, it illustrates like half of it being Marvin with an orange background and half of it being Jackboy Man with a blue background. The same shade of orange and blue used for the portal, which made me think of this whole thing. Hopefully I can get this out in a somewhat timely manner because, oh boy, I am so excited, and it would be very nice for me to, like, be correct and have proof that I'm correct. And with that, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned. This probably won't be the last I talk about this. And I will see you later, whenever later may be.